Hello, Pop Woodman here with some more unconventional wisdom. This would be episode 2 in our continuing series, where I'll be sharing unconventional wisdom, straightforward what it is. Um, my hope is to just share things from the Bible and from other sources as well that will help us to understand what good wisdom really is, what solid wisdom really is. And of course, godly wisdom, in my personal opinion, is the best wisdom there is. And when I think of wisdom, I think of Jesus and I think of his Sermon on the Mount. For those of you who may not have read that, it's in your Bibles, it's in the New Testament, Matthew chapters 5 through 7. And we know it as Jesus' Sermon on the Mount, where he sat down on a hill and he spoke to his students, his disciples who were gathered around him. And he shared with him some very important, with them, not him. He shared with them some very important wisdom that would benefit them greatly going forward in life, especially if they wanted to follow him. And there's one verse that has stood out for time in memoriam that we have called the Golden Rule. And I even remember as a child in school, the teachers taught us the Golden Rule. And in the wording of the day, it was do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And of course, that came from the King James Version of the Bible. But we were just taught it as the Golden Rule. We didn't know who said it, where it came from, or anything like that. But teachers would use this to impart wisdom to their students, the children, to help them understand that the world's going to be a much better place if we would treat each other the way we would like to be treated. And I'm going to read to you from the English Standard Version, and that is Matthew chapter 7, verse 12, where Jesus says this: So whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them, for this is the law and the prophets. Matthew 7:12. Again, this is where the golden rule comes from. But if you notice something there, Jesus said, this is the law and the prophets. Why would he say such a thing? Well, he was speaking to a Jewish audience in the first century. So he wanted them to understand that however you want to be treated, that's how you should treat others. And when he says this is the law and the prophets, he's saying this sums up everything that has been prophesied. This sums up what the law is there for, the Jewish law, which started with the Ten Commandments, is just treat each other well. And certainly the apostles and disciples of Jesus have taught that ever since. And this is how a Christian should lead their life. Like I said, this is unconventional wisdom. It's not the wisdom of the day. It's not our conventional wisdom now, is it? Because we live in a time where we have a cancel culture. You say something offensive, your word should not be heard again. And people just want what they want at all costs. They really don't care the harm it does to themselves and to others. That's not wise thinking. I just want what I want. I'm going to do what it takes to get that. That's harmful thought process right there. There's a term for that, stinking thinking. And it's not good. It's not healthy. And we see in our communities and all around us today that people are just saying, I want what I want, give it to me. Treat me the way I want to be treated, without thought, really, for others. And we should be thinking of others at all times. What we say, what we do, how we behave makes a difference. And it can be a difference for good or a difference for bad. And if we're not thinking of how we should be treating others, it's going to end up bad. because we all know how we want to be treated, don't we? We want to be treated with respect. We want to be treated with kindness, gentleness, compassion, love. Well, if that's how we want to be treated, then that's how we need to treat everybody else. And demanding our way is not that. But conventional wisdom says, you yell and scream until you get what you want, then life will be better for everybody. Doesn't make a lot of sense now, does it? But that's conventional wisdom. And it's not serving us well. May we learn unconventional wisdom and speak in ways and act in ways that are good for us and good for others. Let's do that. God bless.